In the heart of India's energy revolution, SELCO India emerged in 1995, determined to power the lives of marginalized communities through solar energy. 30 years into the mission, the organization's innovative solutions have transformed access to energy, education, and economic opportunities. Yet, beneath the surface of these successes lie stories that hint at deeper challenges that blur the boundaries of success and failure. What then becomes the warning signals that organizations like SELCO must look out for, and what circumstances give rise to such signals to be overlooked? You're listening to Fail Loud, a series that draws insights from failures in the development sector, brought to you by SELCO Foundation's Impact Failure platform. In this episode, we take a deep look at two examples of failures shared by Harish Hande, the co-founder of SELCO India, in the journey of enabling energy access, as shared during his address at Impact Failure 2018. In the early days of SELCO, the organization was lauded for its exceptional after-sales services. Harish Hande cites a particular instance that happened between 2007 and 8. SELCO had set up a solar-powered light source for a sewing machine of an end user. The rationale was that access to a dependable light source in the absence of reliable electricity supply would make the end user more productive and therefore be able to generate higher income. But on a Wednesday evening, the light stopped working. A complaint was raised on Thursday morning. True to their commitment, SELCO rectified the issue by Friday morning. But the user's experience was different.
But because of not having light on Wednesday night and Thursday night, I couldn't do the swing, because of which I could not buy rice on Saturday. And my kids didn't eat. Our process was tick marked. Great, we had success. But she failed to actually feed. To whose failure is that, right? And so for us, that led to how do you create after-sales service for livelihood applications? That means if something went wrong, you had to fix it in the next 5 minutes, right? How do you internalize that? It's somebody failed, and especially in the sector, unlike if a television does not work, you rectify, create a process. If television does not work for 2 hours, nobody's food is getting challenged or livelihood's getting challenged. Here it's like we're working with marginalized communities where the graph is really low.
Another instance that Harish Hande refers to is of a solar-powered chili grinder for low-income households. The premise was that the technology would generate a livelihood in rural areas that were facing productivity loss due to unreliable electricity supply. To finance this, the end user takes a loan from the bank to set up the grinder. After paying the bank for 5 years from its earnings, she would fully own the machine. The program was initially hailed as a success. Funder reports highlighted impressive numbers and Excel sheets showed good economics.
So when you deeply looked at the Excel sheet, the payment to the bank that she was doing was from other income source and not from the chili. The chili grinder effectively had reduced her delta cash flow at home. So by intervening with the chili grinder, we had actually made the person poorer. So the monies was coming from our papad making, which she was already doing in the second case. Because her cash flow was much better overall, she was able to pay for the chili grinder, but the chili grinder itself, had she had not had the chili grinder, she would have taken more money at home. And because people don't keep Excel sheets like any one of us and say that I'm making more money, we're paying from it. It was, in fact, we had actually made her poorer by actually intervening the chili grinder. But in the first report to the funders, it went as a huge success. We need to step back and realize before actually writing a report and clapping about it and showing the lady with the chili grinder and everybody clapping about it, we need to deeply go into these numbers that we sometimes override in our quest for success.
These examples illustrate a larger systemic issue within organizations like SELCO. Are they truly equipped to understand and analyze both their successes and failures? There were many warning signs to be looked out for. In the first instance, SELCO's initial focus on expanding its reach in energy access led to vulnerabilities for the end user. It also highlights the possibility of a confirmation bias, of looking solely from the lens of success of after-sale services, but overlooking the needs of the user. In the case of the solar chili grinder, it shows the pitfalls of making technology bets that do not align with the user's actual problems and context. While the teams that worked in both these scenarios were talented and knowledgeable professionals, there is a tendency to groupthink, which can prevent teams from acknowledging their blind spots and reading these warning signs. As we reflect on these instances, it's clear that understanding failure is not just about identifying what went wrong. It's about creating systems that allow organizations to learn and adapt continuously. The development sector can benefit immensely from adopting this mindset, one that values introspection and acknowledges the complexities of human needs and economic realities. SELCO Foundation invites organizations and individuals to come forward and share their impact failure stories and to fail loud.